Hey kids, what time is it?
What time is it?
It's community conversations time.
It's community conversations time. That's right. From the beaches of South Florida to the hills of Tennessee. From New York to Hawaii. Tell your friends that Community Conversations is about to inform the next generation with news, without fear, and educating them without opinion.
And a warm South Florida and Costa Rica welcome to all of you.
This 1 hour forum deepens connections, and it provides discussions on a range of topics including social emotional issues, improving relations with law enforcement, post-secondary education, careers, health and wellness, politics and race, inclusion and equality.
Focus on an initiative. Case in point tonight, you all were speaking about gun violence. Since I've been growing up, that's been a thing, especially living here in Florida.
Community Conversations, where it's all about highlighting the talented youth in our communities and the great things that they are doing.
In terms of encouraging women's involvement in civil rights activism.
Community Conversations.
Hello, our news-loving fans. It is now 7 p.m. I'm Rihanna Charlotte.
And I'm Alexander Blackwood.
And welcome to this episode of Community Conversations, dedicated to all our first responders.
We have another banner show for you tonight, so sit back and get ready for this 1 hour ride. We will tell you about the flat tire of an NFL linebacker on game day. Led to an epic adventure for a family of 5.
Then we'll have an update on some Palm Beach County students who got accepted on the spot on their campus to a college in South Carolina. A story you will only see at Community Conversations.
And we will tell you about the 14-year-old who saved the runaway school bus with kids.
So Denia is back this week, and I heard Mr. Ciron, Mr. John, Mikey, and Aaliyah cut up over the last 2 weeks. If you missed the last 2 shows, you definitely should take a moment to see them. Anyways, we are back, and we will give you the news in a manner you have grown used to. And we will now go to Community Conversations producer Denia Strawn has a story about a Phoenix family who came to the rescue of Arizona Clinton's player Jesse Luca, who had fumbled on the road on Sunday's game against the Los Angeles Rams. We'll be skipping over, or Alex will be saying this part since Denia is not able to be here.
Right. Jesse Luca of the Arizona Cardinals limped his car to a gas station last Sunday, but was still miles from the stadium with just 45 minutes to kick off. His luck changed when a mom, dad, and 3 kids pulled in to fuel up, all of them headed to the game fully decked out in Cardinals gear. The linebacker introduced himself, asked for a lift, and even though they were unfamiliar with him, they took a chance and said yes. With that, the 6'5" 280-pounder squeezed himself into the car, finagled them at a prime parking spot, took post-game photo, and topped off his gratitude with tickets to a future game. Jess later told reporters that these were the best fans in America. He had a blast talking to the kids. And for his part, the dad, who did the good deed, told NPR that the linebacker is one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet. For Community Conversations, I'm Alexander Blackwood.
You got really lucky. Met some nice people on the road. That's cool. Soon, you may be bringing home a little something extra in your backpack. Beginning this month, schools around the county will be able to order free COVID tests around the country. Contest of the federal government. Ahead of the rise in COVID this winter, the Department of Health and Human Services is hoping to distribute its existing stockpile of hundreds of billions of at-home tests to nurses, offices, and teachers' classrooms to help identify and stem the virus from spreading. According to the statement from administration about the new program, keeping students and teachers safety a priority since day one.
If you're in the 7th to 12th grade, you're welcome to the 2nd annual Vision Board party tomorrow at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce. The party will run from 1 to 3 p.m. and will kick off a 6-month comprehensive leadership program conducted by the Success and Accountability Network.
Yes, it's always a lot of fun.
unfortunately.
We don't have the number. It's not working. But it's always a lot of fun. You can sign up on Eventbrite, and I'm pretty sure that you can just look up the event, and it will show up in the Delray Beach Library, like he said, I think, yes. Or Chambers of, yeah. So that event will be tomorrow to kick off the new year, start off your vision board and what you envision for your life. So that will be fun. If you not have yet reserved your seat for the Christmas play, not just another holiday, don't worry. There are still seats available for this play, which is bound to get you laughing your heart out. Not just another holiday will be tomorrow night, Saturday, December 2nd, at 6 p.m. at Greater Melt Olive Missionary Baptist Church, 40 Northwest 4th Avenue in Delray Beach. I'm told that your very own Aaliyah will be in the play. Admission, by the way, is free. So if you have time to see a play, come out tomorrow, and it's all free. All you have to do is drive there.
That's good. Residents of Ashland, Oregon are set to flip the switch on a new holiday tradition. On Sunday, over 1 million sparkling lights and festive decorations will transform a quarter-mile path through the town's woods into what will now be known as the Candy Cane Trail. On the trail, which is free and will be open throughout December, visitors will enjoy a horses and carriage ride, candy canes, and other festive treats. It is all part of Ashland Mayor's Matt Miller's grand plan to turn his town into the most Christmas-centric in the U.S. One local businessman, who donated $100,000 to fund the year's trail, said he wants to bring happiness to the community and hopes the Winter Wonderland will get families to do something fun together instead of sitting in front of the TV. Which I think is nice.
It sounds very nice to me.
Yeah.
The National Christmas tree is back upright after getting knocked down to the ground Tuesday afternoon. The 40-foot Norway spruce, located in ellipses in the front of the White House, toppled over due to a strong gust of wind about 45 miles an hour. After reviewing the tree's condition, a national park spokesperson told the Washington Post a snap cable was replaced and the tree was raised back up by a crane, just in time for last night's official tree lighting ceremony. The windy conditions were part of a winter storm that blew down the arch, bringing snow in the coldest winter since March.
Delray Beach also had its tree lighting ceremony on Tuesday, and we were told it was a spectacular sight to behold. The annual tradition attracted several thousand people downtown and kicked off the season. Please take a look at this video of the event, courtesy of the city of Delray Beach.
The tree was named by Travel and Leisure magazine as the best tree in the state of Florida. Enjoy the season with your loved ones, and thank you for being part of our Village by the City. Happy holidays. Thank you again.
Just a second, I was about to sneeze.
Speaking of Christmas season, make sure you clear your schedule for next Saturday, December 9th, for the annual Christmas parade. The parade begins at 6 p.m.
Another Christmas tradition, singing at the 12 Days of Christmas, outlining 12 items that my true love gave to me. But the cost of these gifts is more expensive than ever. To buy everything from a patriarchy in a peach tree to a drummer drumming and everything in between would now cost an all-time high with $46,730. A 2.7% increase over the last year. The information comes from the Christmas Price Index from the last 40 years has been put together a list as a bit of a joke, but to educate consumers about the current state of the economy.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
2023's top teenage slang words could have some parents saying bussin'. Online language learning platform Preply releases this list about every year, surveying 682 moms and dads about what they hear their 12 to 18-year-olds saying. Only 2% knew every word, though about 3 in 5 say they try and be in the know, so they have a clue about their teens' conversations. The top word this year, sus, or suspicious, made popular by the online murder mystery game Among Us. Also, bet for I agree or good news. Drip means swagger and salty if you're annoyed. I haven't heard it used like that before. Not in forever. Back to the top. If you're still stuck on bussin', it means something is exceptionally exciting.
I do think that when parents hear their kids saying all these type of words, they just decide to jump in because that's what my mom does. She starts to say whatever I'm saying. And I would say that the new word changes every couple months. Everyone decides to adopt a new word they find on TikTok or on social media. So I would say that I have not heard someone say bussin' in a while, to be honest. I don't know what's the new word right now, but I think it's something different currently.
Probably.
Yeah, interesting. Let me remind you that our Fund the Future of Journalism campaign is now in full swing. We hope you join us. We are a nonprofit, and all the donations go right back into producing this broadcast and helping us expand into more homes and more schools. Donations can be made through our secure portal on the website at KOP at www.kopmn. Yes. .org. I couldn't see the rest. Or you can call us at 561-665-0151. Again, that's 561-665-0151. And again, the website is www.kopmn.org.
She's not old enough for a license, but a 14-year-old from Australia has managed to still save a school bus full of kids. Izzy Miller of New South Wales wasn't on board. She was on the street talking with a friend when she noticed the bus, which had 20 kids inside and no one in the driver's seat, inching across a 2-lane highway towards the fuel pumps of a gas station. Izzy quickly jumped behind the wheel, but then, because she's never driven anything, much less a bus, had to guess which pedal was the brake. Fortunately, she guessed right and brought the runaway bus to a stop. Izzy's been honored for her heroics, but as of this recording, there's still no word on where the bus driver was at the time. Police are investigating. To say the least, Izzy is now the talk of the town.
So, he saved the bus. Very interesting. I mean, at least he saved it. Could have been way worse. And
She did a good thing. Great
that
accomplishment.
sounds very scary. I probably would have just, if I was driving, I probably would have put them in more danger, honestly.
It's the end of a regular school day. Kids are boarding their bus as the driver steps off to chat to a teacher. Everything seems normal until the bus starts to roll. On board are 20 students from Casino High School. Out of control and heading straight for a petrol station, a quick-thinking Year 9 student, Izzy Miller, leapt into action.
I turned around to go talk to my friends, and I turned back and the bus was moving. No one was doing anything, so I jumped up and got into action and steered it away.
Izzy brought the bus safely to a stop by applying the brake. Then students are seen running into the shop for help. Its owner, Erin Whitten, is extremely grateful.
I had a guy pumping gas at the time of the incident. If that bus had hit the Bowser, worst case, it could have blown.
If it hadn't been for Izzy's calm response, that school bus could have come right behind me here. And the casino community is coming together and thanking her for preventing what could have been a huge catastrophe.
The principal said that if Izzy hadn't acted the way that she did that day, that he would have been making some very different phone calls that week.
Police are investigating the incident, but all those involved are just happy it ended the way it did. Emma Hannigan, ABC News, Casino.
Interesting. Like I said, if it was me, I probably would have crashed into I think she called it the Bowser there. But at least she got them safely. And I think that honestly, whoever was driving or who was supposed to be driving should be in trouble or even face some serious consequences because she clearly put a school bus full of kids in danger. But to carry on, she also won the Principal's Award. So we hear people complaining all the time. All we see is bad things on the news. They never report the good news. Well, that's not really true because here at Community Conversations, we make sure you have your dose of good news about what kids are doing around you and even abroad.
If you know someone who should be hanging with us, please take a moment to call or text them and let them know that Community Conversations is on. You have time and they won't miss much.
Yes, invite everyone to come watch and support. If it's your first time hanging with us, welcome. We have been providing unfiltered news about what young people are doing around the globe for the past 3 years. I don't know, it feels like it's been longer than that. We are committed to ensuring you have the latest local news about youth, whether the great things they're doing in school, the athletic field or court, or even in the house of worship.
To our viewers who have experienced difficulty reaching us on Facebook, we regret to report that our account has been hacked, and we're working to address that. Until we address the issue, you can still watch the show on YouTube. We apologize for any inconvenience this has caused.
It is now time for Trending Now with Mr. John and Mr. Ciron.
When I move my body just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like freedom. I hear a song that takes me back, and I let go with so much freedom. I'm gonna get, 'cause it's my freedom.
Brother John, what's going on, my man?
What's going on, good brother?
Hey, one of those days, man. One of those Thanksgiving behind us, Christmas, just about it feels like 3 days down the road.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know what to expect. Hey, Jeremiah, bring Rihanna and Alex in, please. Miss Rihanna, how are you?
I've been okay. How are you guys?
Good, man. That was you did a pretty good job, girl. You were busing a while ago.
Okay, Mr. Ciron, don't say that like that.
You were. Hey, you just taught me a new word. Speaking of busing, what do you think of that bus, Rihanna? You said if you had your driver's license, if you were driving the bus would have crashed. What kind of license you have right now?
Well, I have a permit. I'm supposed to get my license.
Oh, you got your permit?
Yeah.
You heard that?
I did hear that.
Who gave you a permit? Where'd you get it? Winn-Dixie or Publix?
Winn-Dixie, yeah, Publix.
Okay. Chick-fil-A.
No, DMV. Anyways.
You want a DMV, Rihanna?
Yes.
Okay, that's nice to know. Hey, John, I remember when Neil got his permit. In fact, my van. Yeah, you remember my van's still out front.
Brother Neil
is a proof.
Brother
so, Rihanna,
Neil.
What about when are you going to go out and do your practice?
So I've been practicing a little bit, but I'm kind of nervous. And someone cut me off the other day, so I've been trying to just learn how to, drive. And also, I just started. Yeah.
Driving down here, learning. I mean, I'm from North Carolina, so I think it was a little bit easier because one, the streets were less crowded where I'm from. So yeah, now learning to drive down here, I could definitely see that being a challenge for sure.
People drive crazy in Florida.
So Rihanna,
South Florida in particular.
Your mom allowed you to use her Lexus to train to practice?
Yeah, she has allowed me to use it.
Oh, hey, don't tell him I said so, but check with Robert Dodd sometime. I'm sure he'll be happy to take you out. You know that.
Yeah.
Rihanna get what Rihanna wants. Anyway, we'll see you shortly. All right.
All righty. Enjoy it. Bye.
Hey, make sure you and Alex listening because a lot for you guys to learn from this. By the way, you know who Henry Kissinger is, Rihanna?
I do not.
What about you, Alex? Do you know who Henry Kissinger is?
Heard the name because of his recent mention in the.
Good. What about Sandra Day O'Connor?
No, I have not.
How about the town of Plains, Georgia?
I've heard that before. Heard of that.
What about you, Rihanna?
Nope.
What about Chelsea Clinton? Ever heard the name?
Sounds familiar. Chelsea.
Sounds familiar. Wow. Ooh. What about Liz Cheney? Who is your governor's wife? What's her name? That's my
questions are. I have no idea.
Anyway,
do you know who the governor is of the state of Florida?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's his name, Alex?
It's,
Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, Ron DeSantis. Yeah.
And who's the lieutenant governor?
That I don't know.
Neither do I.
I don't know that either.
Neither do I. Anyway, stand by, okay? You guys may learn something from this. All right? All right. So, Brother John, one of the most powerful people to serve in the United States government, under Secretary of State, Henry Kissinger, has died. Just like we just saw and heard a few minutes ago from Rihanna, and many of them may not have heard the name before. But what about you, John?
Let's see, man. Actually, I previously, not until, of course, a couple of days ago since his passing, I actually was not familiar with him either. And so, that is,
right.
I was not familiar. I can't even sit up here in front. I was not familiar with Henry Kissinger, until his passing.
Right, yeah, but it's certainly one that your parents and your grandparents certainly will
Absolutely.
recognize. The powerful diplomat will be remembered as one of the most influential, although controversial, figure for his role in the America's policy on China as well as the Vietnam War. During his lifetime, he advised 12 presidents on the country's foreign affairs, most recently Presidents Biden and Trump. Current Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, who sought advice from Mr. Kissinger just a few months ago, told NPR that few people were better students, John, of history, and even fewer people did more to shape history than Henry Kissinger. He was 100 years old. I'm not sure if it's just me, but you notice we've been losing a lot of folks up in that range over the last couple of days.
Exactly. No. I mean, when you think of course, the former First Lady, Rosalind Carter, I think kind of to your point of, that generation of individuals that are kind of in that, 90 to 102 type age range, that played pivotal roles in kind of where we are today as a country. So it's been kind of a streak, even when you think of Queen Elizabeth and kind of under individuals over these last year or two, that have gone on to glory. So
we lost another icon, John. Retired Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. She was the first woman to serve in on the court, and she was a crucial swing vote.
She's the first woman on the highest court, our Supreme Court. So
and
definitely familiar with her just because of my legal background.
Your legal background, yes.
So that so I definitely saw that. So
for Rihanna and the rest who are listening out there, just want to let you know that she served 25 years on the Supreme Court. And she died, by the way, earlier today at age 93. But a key figure in a landmark Supreme Court cases dealing with abortion. She was big with affirmative action and civil rights. And she left the court back in 2018 to care for her ailing husband, who was diagnosed with dementia. And she also died of such causes. John, you should know that she was President Ronald Reagan's first nominee. I should have asked Rihanna if she knew who Ronald Reagan was. But
yeah, I don't know if she would know.
I'm sure she does.
Yeah, I don't think she would know.
She was, this woman went through a lot as well, just like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. When she ran at first, when she left law school, no one would hire her. So she started her own company, her own law firm. And then she joined the Arizona Council, worked her way up to office of state senate. And she was the first woman again to hold the title of that. Anyway, we do have a video of her that I want to share for our viewing audience.
Keeping a campaign promise to put the first woman on the Supreme Court, Ronald Reagan nominated Sandra Day O'Connor in 1981. The daughter of an Arizona rancher, she came highly recommended as a conservative. It sounded like one during her confirmation hearing.
My own view in the area of abortion is that I am opposed to it as a matter of birth control or otherwise.
As a justice, at first she criticized the Roe v. Wade abortion ruling, but later joined the majority in a series of cases upholding abortion rights in the 90s. As the first female justice, her every action was scrutinized.
The arms get all worn out.
Attention she would later say was intimidating.
It's thrilling in a way to be the first to do something, the first woman to ever serve on the court. But it's dreadful if you're the last. And if I didn't do the job well, that's what would happen.
During her 24 years on the court, O'Connor became less tied to a single judicial philosophy. She was sometimes with the conservatives, approving taxpayer-funded vouchers for students at religious schools, voting to end the 2000 Florida recount between George W. Bush and Al Gore, and advocating for states' rights against federal control.
There is a role that remains for the states, and I am a believer in that designated role.
But she joined the court's liberals in upholding affirmative action in college admissions, creating more congressional districts with African American voters in the majority, and keeping a wall of separation between government and religion. O'Connor was a frequent guest at Washington social events, often dancing with her husband, John, and met with student groups, especially young women around the country. But at age 75, she abruptly announced her intention to step down for health reasons. Not hers, but her husband's. She became an advocate for medical research.
My beloved husband, John, suffers from Alzheimer's. He's had it for a long time now, and he's not in very good shape.
John O'Connor died at age 79 in 2009. She remained active, urging states to do away with elections for judges, which she said made the courts too political. Sandra Day O'Connor was a pioneer, the first female justice who held the court's center for more than a generation. Laura Jarrett, NBC News, at the Supreme Court.
Yes, sir. That was powerful.
Yeah, no. Icon, legend. Anytime you're the first to do something, and especially at that level, you're always going to go down in history. So,
yeah, that video certainly was courtesy of MSNBC. Must add that, John. And one death that, as you mentioned earlier, dominated the news was that of former First Lady Rosalind Carter, another woman who was passionate about mental health, caregiving, and women's rights. She passed away on this past Sunday, or 2 Sundays ago, at the age of 96. And again, in that same age group that we alluded to earlier. She died peacefully with her family by her side at her homes in Plains, Georgia, which explained why I asked Brianna if she knew where Plains, Georgia was. Now, bro, this woman was 96 years old. Her husband is now 99. They've been married for 77 years to Jimmy Carter, as you know, the 39th president of the United States. And there's so many life lessons between these two. You know, this guy lived in a town of 600. They lived in a town of 600 where they grew up in. And he went to church. Everybody knew him. You know, guy would walk to church. And that's not President Carter. That's just, you know, Reverend Jimmy. And even throughout life, throughout their life, he was there with her. And even until death, he was there with her, you know, according to the stories that have been told. Well, I'm telling you, I just can't wait for the screenplays and the movies and all the documentaries that are going to be coming out. But I doubt it, John, that there'll be any. You know why? Because their lives were so positive. I don't think it's going to be bestsellers. But anyway, we have a.
There's not a lot of controversy and juice around the lives that they lived.
Yes. We have a video to show of her life, but also before we, once after the video, we have someone who's going to put this in perspective for us. So roll the tape, Jeremiah.
Well, I hope my legacy continues more than just First Lady, because Carter Center has been an integral part of our lives, I would think, and our motto is waging peace, fighting disease, and building hope. And I hope that I have contributed something to mental health issues and help improve a little bit the lives of people living with mental illnesses. But I also hope, I have had great opportunities for so long now. And to go to Africa or one of those countries, we have programs in 70-something countries. We go to Africa 2-3 times a year. And to go to those villages, and now things are coming to fruition we've been working on all these years, like we've almost eradicated guinea worm. To go to a village where there's no longer guinea worm, it is a celebration. One of the good things about the Carter Center is we don't give money to the government. We send people in to teach the health people in that country how to do something. And we work with the people in the villages. And the health department does too, and we work with them. And they do the work. Just to go to a village and explain to them about guinea worm, if you can get the chief to approve, that's what you have to do. But if they see that or hear about it from another country, they're so happy you're there. But just to go back when it's gone from a village or almost gone, and the hope it gives to them, that most of the time it's the first thing they have ever seen that was successful. And it's just so wonderful just to see the hope of that piece of something good is happening. Didn't mean to get emotional.
Wow. Deep. To help us, John, add some perspective to the life and legacy of this couple is the Reverend Frederick L. Golden, senior pastor of St. Matthew's, Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church in St. Matthews, South Carolina. Reverend Golden, thank you for joining us, brother.
Glad to be here.
Great. And John, I must also tell you, this brother he knows Henry Arthur Callis very well.
Yes, I do.
This is a special day upon us, and on Monday. So
yes,
it's been a little colder outside here in South Florida. So
yes,
so it's getting a little chilly. It'll definitely be cold on Monday for sure.
Yes. super. So, Pastor, if you will, as I said earlier, Plains, Georgia is a small town of 600 people. We have in this city apartment complexes that are much larger than that. And everybody knew them around there. They both grew up in town. Everybody knew them as, Mr. Jimmy and Miss Rose. Now, the life they live speaks volumes. And even till death, he was there. Yes. I'm told that just before he died, John, before she died, he asked his relatives to leave the room. And they faced the bed facing each other. He held her hand, he kissed her, and he also told the family members that he wanted her to go before he did because he wanted to make sure she was taken care of to the end.
Wow.
Talk to me about that.
I think one of the most important things that you look at is, as I was looking at this and listening, even with the O'Connors, the fact that, how long they were together and what she did in that relationship. And what I found is that it's very important that we remember that they were friends. Friendship is so important. Friendship is so important in a relationship. We have a lot of people that's really caught up in relationship without having the friendship. Mm-hmm. And I'm often telling young people that you got to be careful who your friends are, because your friends sometimes help to define you. The people you hang around also has a lot to do with your decisions. Mm-hmm. And even when you look at it biblically, I look at it as, put some things here, look at David and Jonathan. Mm-hmm. David and Jonathan, they were friends. They had a deep, abiding friendship. You look at Elijah and Elisha, there was a friendship that continued to grow. You look at Ruth and Naomi, their friendship was basically born from tragedy. And when you look at that, you look at what we all know as, when you talked about Henry Arthur Kellis, there's a brotherhood. There's something deeper that goes within that, mm-hmm. and is a friendship. It is something that happens, that continues to build, and it continues to grow. So after both of these couples have been together for so long, look at the lifespan that they had based on their friendship. When you have people in your life like that, it is less stressful. You have people that will confront you, that will be honest with you, that will tell you when you're going down the wrong road. So friendship is very, very important. It wasn't so much his wife, it was his friend, mm-hmm. whose hand he was holding. It was O'Connor's friend who she gave up all those years to go and to take care of. Mm-hmm. Notice she said he already had Alzheimer's. But she chose to give up life with everybody else to take care of her friend.
It's interesting you say that, because, John, listen to this. President Carter once said, Rosalind was my equal partner in everything I ever accomplished. Yes. It is said that there were times when he was president, except for the high level meetings, she was in there with all the heads of state and all his cabinet members. Yes. She gave me wise guidance and encouragement when I needed it. As long as she was in the world, I always knew somebody loved and supported me.
That's it. That's a friend, who sticks closer than a brother. That's a friend, who would go the extra mile. I mean, it's powerful, So when I look at relationship, I look at friendship first. Build that friendship.
Well said.
Relationship comes after friendship, not before.
So I take it. Oh, you got a question, John?
Oh, no. I was just saying, man.
I take it with the love and all that comes the pain and the right? Because he said that dad got used to mom disagreeing with him. She was a you-know-what from time to time because she was really good at it. So he got used to that. Yep. She became a partner in the true sense of the word, where they had equal footing.
Yes.
Break that down to me, please.
Well, I think when you look at it, when you talk about equal footing, mm-hmm. my friend does not care. When my friends tell me something is wrong, I listen to them. If my friends say don't go down that road, I'm gonna think twice about going down that road. When my friend says to me, you might want to think about what you said, about what you're doing, then it comes in a different ear. Why? Because I trust. Now we're going into a whole different thing. Trust. I trust my friend. Why? Because my friend's not gonna tell me anything to do wrong. My friend is not going to lead me in any direction. My friend may not tell me exactly what other people said, but my friend would tell me I might want to be careful who I'm hanging around, who I'm listening to, that's a friend. And so many people have lost valuable friendships because they're trying to be on the in crowd. They're trying to be with everybody else. We got to understand, choose your friends wisely. I once heard somebody say, if the people that you're around is not a bridge to take you to the other side, then they are a burden. And your friends are never a burden.
Wow. That's deep, John.
No.
Anyway, you make a transition here. You're in town brother in town on a recruiting trip for get students in Morris College in Sumter, South Carolina. You've been here 2 days now. Tell us about how's it so far?
It has been going great. First of all, let me let you know Morris College is in the center of South Carolina, pretty much. We're not far from Myrtle Beach. We're not far from Charleston. We're not far from North Carolina. I can be in Jacksonville in 3 hours. I'm from the upstate. I can be there in 2.5 hours. So we're in a great location. One of the things that I say that Morris College is a small liberal arts college. We have things like cybersecurity, esports, e-gaming. We have a forensic center. We're number 2 in the state, number 16 in the nation. Our forensic center and our that particular program, our criminal justice program. We also have a program called Call Me Mister. So those young men that want to be educators, they can go into this program. There's money that teach them how to be educators because we need more Black males on the elementary level. Also, we have a program, the ORM program. If you started school and didn't finish, you can go back to school and possibly in 18 months finish and get your degree. If you have an associate's or you want to finish up, and it's a business program. So there's a lot of things that we have to offer there at Morris College. One of the things that I'm looking for is students that want to get an education. Doesn't matter where you come from, it matters where you're going. That's what's important. I was undecisive about a lot of things as a student. I went to Morris. Some of these young people that listen to it, I don't know how old John is.
Guess what? John wanted to come to Morris College, but y'all wouldn't accept him. So he ended up.
We got to work on that.
North Carolina Central.
I apologize, brother. I wasn't there. But really, I actually graduated from Morris in 1987. But when I went because my dad had a third grade education. I didn't come from a family that was educated, but I went and made the best of it. And that's what I tell young people now who want to go to college. Whatever you did in high school, college is a fresh start. And that's what we do. Our GPA requirement is a 2.0. If you have less than that, I can still get you in through our program, our PhD program. So we have the ability to help anybody that want to get an education. That's what's important.
Denai is telling us to wrap it up. So talk to me a little about the on-spot acceptance you did
on
today.
spot. Today, I visited a couple of schools and got at least 40 applications accepted. Basically, I've accepted at least 40 students on the spot. If they give me their transcripts and I can review their transcript, I can accept them on the spot. So I'll be around for a few more days. If they want to reach out and get in touch with me, I can help and get them accepted on the spot.
And Jeremiah, why don't you go ahead and roll the video? I think we have some footage from some of your trip. That was good. Well, Brother John, what's on tap for the weekend?
Oh man, so I know our chapter. We got a little thing to pre-celebrate Founders Day. So we'll be at the Spading Museum Saturday. And speaking of that, so not only will
Saturday?
we be there Saturday from 6 to 9,
Okay.
to celebrate Founders Day on Saturday. Also, we've made available, the chapter has made available pictures with Santa. And so that's also taking place from 1 to 5 prior to the Founders Day celebration taking place at 6. So the brothers of the Omicron Upsilon chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha will be at the Spading Museum in Delray Beach from 1 o'clock to 9 p.m. The first part will be dedicated to pictures and holiday pictures with Santa. So you can send out those Christmas cards to your family and friends. And then after that, if you would stick around, the brothers will be there also to celebrate the upcoming Founders Day that's taking place on Monday. So I will be there partly because we have a home basketball game at FAU on Saturday. Okay. But after that, I will be out there. And one other quick plug, speaking of colleges, I will say that in conjunction with the Florida Beach Bowl, so that's the new bowl game that they're going to have in Fort Lauderdale for the two HBCUs, one from the CIAA and one from the SIAC. There will be a HBCU college fair at the Betty T. Ferguson Auditorium in Miami Gardens on the 7th. So this coming Thursday, there's a session from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., then a second session from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And so there'll be HBCUs from all over the country there to set up shop and explain to Miami-Dade and Broward County students about opportunities as well for higher education opportunities at that particular HBCU college fair. So those are the two plugs that I wanted to throw out there.
All right, brother. I wish you were going to be in town, man. That would have been great for you to do the Founders Day with us.
Hey, you know me, I'll make a call. Make a call about that college fair too. I might need to call Brother John, say, hey, give me some information. I'll leave here and go there.
There are a lot of students down here who could certainly use your college because of their needs. Anyway, Brother John,
it will be around 600 students. Wow. At the college fair. So yeah, that is happening on the Thursday. But yeah, no, I'll see you tomorrow, good brother.
Yeah, we have a lot going on tomorrow morning. We have our usual aviation program, and then 1 o'clock from 1 to 3. We both going to be at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce for the kickoff for the vision party for the Success and Accountability Network Leadership Group. And then we have a play. We're going to be acting, John. In fact, they're looking at me now saying, hey, you need to come to rehearsal. But we're going to be acting in a Christmas play. Mount Olive Baptist Church, Delray Beach, 40 Northwest 4th Avenue. It's free. Come on down and see the next Mr. Brown from In Living Color. Anyway, John, see you later, brother.
See you, good brother.
Take it out.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, oh, good night, sweetheart. Good night.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Here at Community Conversations, we take full advantage of remote technology to engage the next generation with news that will inform without fear and educate without opinion.
And now for our birthday shout-outs. Happy birthday to Pauline Clark and Ruby Rivera. Hope I'm saying that right. From all our friends here at Community Conversations.
A huge thanks to all the adults, parents, grandparents, educators, and responsible community servants who every Friday night hang out with us to share ideas and install values in us, the leaders of tomorrow. We hear from you in the streets, we get your texts and emails, and we value your feedback. You are indeed contributing to your community as our mentors. And for that, we say thank you.
Hi guys, I am Brittany McLagan from St. Mary Technical in Jamaica. I want to say big up to Community Conversations.
We believe that leadership training prepares youth to manage their time, work in a team setting, set goals, start conversations, facilitate meetings, and make effective presentations, all of which are positive life skills that they will carry into adulthood. Please direct your attention to our friend Mr. John Maxwell for our Leadership Minute.
Hi, John Maxwell here. Welcome to Minute with Maxwell. The tenacity question asks very simply, am I moving closer to my dream? Wow, that's a great question. The tenacity question doesn't ask, did I arrive or did I achieve? No, it basically says, am I a little closer today than I was yesterday? And it takes tenacity to keep moving. It takes tenacity to keep climbing. But the reward of tenacity is when we look where we are today, we realize we haven't achieved our dream yet, but we are getting closer. I had a wonderful mentor who one time shared with me that growth or progress is happiness. I think he's right. I think when we see that we're going the right way, doing the right things, that we're growing to our capacity. I think there's something very rewarding, very fulfilling that gives us a sense of happiness because we know we aren't there yet. But we look behind us and say, I know this. I'm closer today than I was yesterday. I often teach that a good miss is one that we didn't hit our goal, but we did fall forward. And a bad miss is we fell backward. The tenacity question says to you and me, keep falling forward. Thanks for being with me today on Minute with Maxwell.
new tiles are falling right into place until you run out of, what are those called again? Oh, right. The Home Depot app is made for doing that doesn't miss a beat. So you can find what you need fast and keep things moving in the right direction. For doing that doesn't stop, download the Home Depot app. It's made for doing.
Once you join KW Commercial Community, then the world of commercial real estate business opens up to you. KW Commercial is a community of 2,500 plus brokers and growing. Once you're inside the community, you have access to specific commercial real estate tools that all the other residential agents don't have access to. You have access to specific training on showing you how to become a top producing commercial broker. You have networking events, you have masterminds, you have a marketing package. You also have the relationships with other people who are inside the community who have experienced success at a higher level or a different market that you can tap into and learn and grow from. We have the answer within our organization.
I got homes for sale, condos. I got homes for sale, townhomes. I got homes for sale, single family. I got homes for sale, condos. I got homes for sale, townhomes. I got homes for sale, single family. I got homes for sale, condos. I got homes for sale, townhomes. I got homes for sale, condos. I got homes for sale, townhomes. I got homes for sale, single family. I got homes for sale, condos. I got homes for sale, townhomes. I got homes for sale, single family. I got homes for sale, condos. I got homes for sale, townhomes.
The cinematographer and engineer behind tonight's show is our superstar, Jeremiah, a proud product of Dr. Joaquin Marquand Garcia High School. To find past community conversations, visit our YouTube channel and type in KOP Mentoring Network in the search bar.
This segment is brought to you by the Women's Club of Delray Beach, which has been improving the quality of life for residents of Delray Beach since it started in 1902. The Women's Club of Delray Beach, formerly the Ladies Improvement Society, by a group of 18 women who credited with establishing a lot of programs around the city of Delray Beach. To learn more about the Women's Club of Delray Beach, contact P.O. Box 6593, 14280, Military Trail, Delray Beach, Florida. Oh, you're on mute, Alex.
Sorry. Before we go, shout outs to Community Conversations classrooms. Mrs. Rizzo and her Tigers at Lake Prairie in Lowell, Indiana.
And Mrs. Rye and her Spartans at Borman Center Intermediate in Boardman, Ohio.
And Miss Denham and her Phoenixes at Roberts Naylor in Tucson, Arizona.
Some very interesting names. This will about do it for this week's edition for Community Conversations. Please join us again next week when we'll have another dose of news about what young people are doing both in the community and around the world. Sorry guys, getting a little sick.
Remember to tell your friends about Community Conversations. Please like us, share us, and let us know your thoughts by commenting. From all of us here, have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you for tuning in for another amazing rendition of Community Conversations. If you like what you saw tonight, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing with friends, families, and even acquaintances. Be sure to tune back next week for another amazing edition of Community Conversation.